morning. How you guys doing? If I sent you to this page, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. And with respect to your time, I'll keep it nice and short and snappy. Kind of give you a little bit of background of who I am. My name is Cesar Hernandez, and for about 6 years, I suffered from panic attacks. And when I was suffering from these panic attacks, I lived in complete fear. There was about a good couple of weeks where I couldn't even come out of my house for fear of being in a wide open space or the sun bearing down on me. And it was just really crazy, and I could talk about this all day long, but what you really need to know is that I was just completely fearful. I couldn't drive around in my car. I was trying to jump out of my car at times because, you know, I wasn't trying to commit suicide. I was just trying to get out of the situation. And, you know, it's crazy, and I look back now and I'm like, wow, man, you know, how far have I come? That is absolutely nuts. Well, when I was having these panic attacks, I wanted to get out of them, obviously, so I started digging, and I started digging and digging and digging and digging, and what I found was really profound and was really crazy. And, you know, when I started applying a lot of the principles that I figured out, I lost 54 pounds within a couple of months, or excuse me, a few months, I'll say 3 months, and I became more peaceful, and my panic attacks subsided. And I was like, wow, this is all I needed to do? I mean, I've been practicing all 6 years how to panic, and you know, I never once practiced how not to panic. And I was like, wow, this is pretty crazy stuff. And, you know, for those of you who don't know, I'm also an artist, and I have songs on radio. So I have buddies in radio, and I have connections throughout, you know, all of California for radio. And it's crazy because, you know, the reason I stopped really doing my music for you know, this transitional period was because, I mean, I couldn't even keep up with some of the things that I had to do with radio. And it was because of the fact that I was so unhealthy and I was having panics, and I couldn't even, you know, I remember one time my first radio tour, I went down south and I was panicking all the way down there. And it was a really, you know, point in my life where I had to say, you know what, this is it. This is no longer serving me. This is no longer serving me, and I have to do something about it. So I did what I applied in my life, and I feel great and I feel awesome. And now is the time where, you know, I've developed this personal development program to help people grow. And I'm not only talking about stress, but I'm talking about, you know, dreams, and I'm talking about how to become more peaceful. I'm talking about ingredients in the food that could be pushing you into depression. I'm talking about how to lose weight and the secrets of losing weight. And you know, and also the secrets to energy. So, you know, it's really, there's a definite balance that you must have in all of this. And the reason I'm telling you all this is because I'm just kind of giving you a little overview of what I am teaching. And so if I'm coming to your company, obviously I see some sort of connection in what I do, and I like to see if maybe we can get some sponsorship. Now, if you feel like it is a good you know, idea for your company to sponsorship, then I thank you. And if it's not, it's okay. No worries. I'm not going to stress about it. You know, and I just thank you for the opportunity of actually letting me come before you and, you know, blab my mouth. So, you know, either way, guys, I really appreciate your time. And if you'd like to find out more, I mean, you can look around this website. You see pretty much what I'm doing here. And, you know, you can actually check out other videos on my YouTube channel. I have a whole lot of videos on there. And, you know, you can check it out. You can see I am in the public eye, and, you know, what I'm offering your company really is to get in front of a market that maybe you're not getting in front of right now. You know, like I said, I'm an artist, so I do a lot of rap and hip hop and R&B, and you know, it kind of more on the Will Smith side of things. You know, I don't really like to do much of this street stuff. You know, that was probably me when I was about 15. But I do a lot of positive music. I do a lot of music that's going to uplift people. I do music that's real. And so, you know, otherwise I wouldn't have landed radio. And it really is a testament to it because of the fact that I'm the only person on radio in my parts, as far as local artists. And artists, you know, it's crazy because they look at me all the time like, what are you doing? I'm like, you know, well, I'm making music for the people rather than just for myself, you know. So anyways, you know, I appreciate your time, guys, and hey, live your dreams because you should always live yours. Thank you. You guys have a fantastic day. Bye-bye. The biggest thing to remember, like I said, is if you have a big enough why, it can carry you through any of these steps. So it's not really the steps themselves, but it's going to be your mentality. It's not the ideas that I share with you today that are going to really, truly make that difference. It's going to be your philosophy. It's going to be the way that you think about things, the way that you consider things in life. So you kind of really have to have this paradigm shift. And what a paradigm shift is, like the way that you think about something, it has to change. And one of the biggest things that I tell people all the time, I say, you know, when you have a big enough why, it's just so crazy because you can literally move mountains of stress and move mountains of all this stuff if you just have a big enough reason. So with that being said, we understand that the biggest thing that you need is a big enough reason why. Can we all agree about that?
Yes.
Right? Stress response that's on most of the time from all the things getting you down and all your negative thoughts and all the things rushing through your head. So when you have that in essence, you're training to be a professional stressor. You are training your brain and your mind in that system that sparks off any little time there's a little bit of stress. You get that bill in the mail. You know, the kid needs something for school. You have expenses that you can't take care of. You have rent coming up. You have groceries. You know, you can't afford all these things. So anytime that you feel that stress, you have that, and when you do that long enough, you can rewire your brain to be a professional stressor. Here's the interesting key. Your mind doesn't know the difference. Your mind absolutely does not know the difference. And this is a good one for panic attacks. But your mind does not know the difference between what is reality and what is not reality. And I'll give you a prime example. You ever wake up scared from a dream? You ever wake up crying? Or you ever wake up too happy from a dream? Do you know what I'm saying? Right? So you have these feelings inside you. When you wake up from a dream and your heart is racing, you're scared, you had a bad dream, you had something that was like sometimes you don't even remember, but you knew it was bad and your heart is racing. First and foremost, you must change the way that you look at life, stress, and everyday situations. You have to change your paradigm. You have to change the way that you look at things. This is vital to the success of becoming a more peaceful person. What is acid and alkaline? Our body has to be at a certain pH level, at 7.365. This is slightly alkaline, slightly acid. Our body has to be at this pH level at all times. If it goes below that, you got come closer to being alkaline, you thrive and you live. Fresh pressed cucumbers. Now, if you don't want to go through all the trouble of having to juice all these, go to Trader Joe's and they have something called Berry Green. Right off the bat, if you start incorporating more green drinks and eating more raw vegetables, you'll start getting energy. Not only will you start getting energy, but you'll start to cleanse your body of all the junk you've been putting in over the years. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, here's the big question. Organic versus commercial. This is a huge, huge thing that people always struggle with. Because organic means what?
No
pesticides.
No pesticides, but it also means
more money.
More money, honey. Right? Mm-hmm. Commercial is cheaper, right? But then you get the pesticides. You get all these chemicals that they put in them. Here's what I say. And I have a list for you guys, which is one of my gifts, a list of what fruits and vegetables, majority of them, or which ones have the majority of the pesticides and which ones you can buy regular and you don't really have to worry about it. Mm-hmm. Okay? So, like I said, I believe in a happy medium. You don't have to go totally organic.
Oh, good.
Eventually, you might want to. You might get to a point in your life where you say, I just don't want to take the chance. Mm-hmm. I want completely organic. I want to feel everything organic. But for the people who say, I really don't have the money right now, just buy a freaking commercial for the time being.
Hi, I'm Lucy Sesteda again. Caesar just wrapped up day 2 of the seminar, and I'm actually excited that within the past 2 days, what I've learned I can incorporate into my everyday life starting right now. And I've also learned to help live a stress-free life without sending my kids and my husband off to Timbuktu, and also incorporating a healthy diet into my everyday life.
Lady.